Welcome back to the Monolith Film Podcast. As always, I am your co-host, Lee Byrne. Joining me is...
Nick Gill.
How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of fun getting on Zoom after that live episode we did. That was a blast.
Yeah, that was fun. For a lot of people, that might be kind of weird because of the whole quarantine thing. But where we are in the world, according to the government, we're safe. So that was totally kosher, as they say.
The Bangladeshi government here has been very kind, and we're doing good. We're in
right on.
Florida.
Right on. Today we will be doing Blue Velvet by David Lynch. Came out in '86.
Mm-hmm. Also, a fun first video podcast.
Yeah, we're trying something new here, so bear with us.
This is the episode with the kinks, and not just whipsy.
If there is no video, that means it didn't work. Don't worry about it. If there is a video, make sure to be watching it on YouTube.
I'll cut this part out if the video doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna have to leave it in now, no matter what, though.
You wanna give the viewers a quick 1-2 rundown about the movie?
Yeah, sure. We have 15 minutes for a summary, or a quicker one?
I'll give them a quick half hour.
Okay, no problem then. I think this is David Lynch's fourth feature.
Yeah, because he did Dune and Elephant Man in between this and Eraserhead. Yeah.
So we're skipping a little in the timeline, but in my opinion, we're not skipping much. And we're kind of seeing the tail end of that. This is kind of Lynch trying to be more personal, maybe being a bit more back to Eraserhead, but still having the baggage of those last two kind of big movies. Dune being a big failure too. But this is like a neo-noir. A kid finds an ear in a field and he wants to investigate, and it takes him on all kinds of crazy turns. We get Dennis Hopper later. That's fun.
Oh yeah, Dennis Hopper is absolutely... There's one word to describe him in this movie. It is fun.
And horny.
That's like fucking everyone in this movie, though. This is such a horny movie, man.
Rules, dude. He's so good. By far the best part of this movie. This is his career comeback, too, after this movie.
I mean, what was he known for? What is Dennis Hopper known for before this?
I'd say like early 60s. He was like a big like Hollywood guy. He was an actor.
Because I know his name, but I don't know much about like him as an actor.
I would say like early 60s, mid 60s. He was a pretty popular, just kind of like leading man.
Well, I fucking wrote that wrong. That's embarrassing.
Demas Hopper. And then like
one end, two ends. I put two eyes. Jesus Christ.
There you go. And he made probably like one of the biggest cult movies there, Easy Rider.
Okay, well, this isn't the proper list.
Mm-hmm. Those are the movies he's directed, I think. There.
Yeah, all director lists here.
Yeah, but he was a big actor before, and then he made...
he was in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, he's the photographer in Apocalypse Now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Heart of Darkness, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He was on The Other Side of the Wind?
He's one of the guys at one of the parties. I think he talks for like a minute. He's got a camera.
Oh, okay. He's not that big in it.
No, it's like, you know, when they're kind of going through the party and they have all those kind of cameos through it. He's one of the cameos.
Yeah, okay. Definitely Rebel Without a Cause, though. That's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be his most well-known, apart from Apocalypse Now.
He's good in Rumblefish. But Apocalypse Now is afterwards. That's his comeback later, because he had a big, like...
Yeah.
Easy Rider, and that was like a Palme d'Or winner. I don't know if it won at that. Or it won at... that
was in 69, though. I mean, Rebel Without a Cause is 55. And like I've been hearing about that movie for years.
But that's more James Dean, too. That's the...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Thing. But he was like the main guy. He was the kind of Hollywood rebel guy. You know, he had long hair. He's the fucking hippie dude.
Right.
He made the other movie, or the last movie. And that's the one that was never released because it was so terrible, which I have on order somewhere in the mail now. It should have been like 2 weeks ago.
We'll hit that up.
But that was supposed to be a terrible movie, never released because it was so bad. And that ruined his career for like 10 years.
Really?
Probably.
How bad do you think it really was? Do you believe them?
I can't wait to find out. I'll tell you that much. Because I watched the trailer and it looks like it rocks. Mm. But maybe the trailer's better than it. That's like the Prometheus effect where the trailer rocks, but the movie's garbage.
Yep, we've been there. I mean, I'm seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 here. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, dude, he rules. That's
what I'm talking about. He's one of the hillbillies, right?
I believe he's like the father or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he is. I think I remember that.
I think at the dining table scene or something, he's like the main dude.
Okay.
I think I'm
all right. Well, rock and roll. Dennis Hopper rules. We can all agree.
Yeah, and this was the start of his return to being a cool dude.
Okay.
Still a wacko, though. Still crazy.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call his character Frank in this that cool.
But, I mean, it's a better than what he was doing before. I don't know if you want to look it up, but he did the live-action Mario Bros. Movie. And he was.
Oh, I've seen that. That is dog shit.
Yeah, he's Bowser.
Is he? No, yeah. I don't remember. I think I repressed that movie.
Please leave it repressed.
Yeah, it's fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. This is the second Lynch movie we're doing out of our little Lynch chapter.
Yeah, I feel very happy every time we do one of these movies that kind of goes in one of the playlists.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Playlist. Another special episode with that live one. Ooh, it's fun.
Oh yeah, I think especially after our extended break, we're definitely spoiling our guests here.
Oh, we're gonna kick it. Why do you think we were on break for something?
Lots of planning to do. That's why.
Professional cameras, everything. I'm set up with 20 mics here. We're good to go.
Only 20. Wow, I was expecting more from you, Nicholas.
I had to budget a bit, in these times. This was your first time watching it for the podcast?
Yes, I watched it the first time, took a bunch of notes, and then today before recording, I did a bit of research and watched it again.
Okay.
But full disclosure, I watched it at twice the speed.
You can't be faulted for that, I don't think.
It is long. It's 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And I remember explicitly thinking the first time I watched it, wow, this is long and honestly pretty boring.
You didn't like it to start with?
No, the first time I saw it, I was pretty bored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really have a problem with the pacing in this movie.
Okay, you find it too slow or the scenes drag a bit?
Too much back and forth.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, for me at least. The movie, it goes between Jeffrey, the main character, in the crime world, investigating Frank.
Yeah, that's
and then he comes back to, what's that girl's name? She's played by Laura Dern, right?
Yeah. That's Kyle MacLachlan, who's Jeff?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Jeffrey?
Yeah, Jeffrey, yeah. Jeffrey Belvedere, Bo something?
Yeah, I think it's Belvedere.
Belvedere, there you go. Dorothy is the Blue Velvet girl. She's the singer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. That's...
the girl's name, Laura Dern.
We'll just call her Laura Dern.
There you go. Laura Dern's character. So he goes back every now and then and like kind of catches Laura Dern's character up.
Yeah.
And I felt like every time he did that, it kind of just broke the story.
Well, it's like it's supposed when you see it, you're thinking that it's like a mystery neo-noir thing. But then you have like there's always supposed to be a romantic layer, but it's almost like this movie has doubled the romantic layer. There's the femme fatale and there's the girl next door.
Yeah.
Normally it's one or the other.
I understand the whole division between night and day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like making that division so explicit and repeating it so often hurt the pacing of the film in the long run.
And I don't think it comes to anything really in the end. the only point of the affair between Kyle MacLachlan and Dorothy, it's just that one shot, like 4/5 of the way through, where she comes on his lawn naked, and you go, "Oh shit, I feel bad for Laura Dern," and that's the one moment that anything happens. Right. She just gets her kid after.
Yeah. Where is that? Let's find that.
Are we allowed to show some Rossellini boobies on here?
I mean, we're not. Worst case, we'll get age restricted, but we're not monetizing this yet. So there she is.
Yeah, that's the key word. Yeah. This scene, I didn't really find that twisty.
I thought this was kind of pointless. Having the boyfriend chase them down and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, the boyfriend seemed almost secondary. Like there's a weird shot of him kind of in the football field, like lens watching him, and it's kind of like, I don't know. That looks like it was filmed a month later when the producer said, "Oh, we got to see the boyfriend," kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. There she is.
Yeah, coming out naked. What's that, Mom?
Let's pause right there so we don't see anything too explicit, just so the video doesn't get taken down.
Yeah. You were talking about the back and forths being boring. I quite enjoy it. We're going to talk about directing, I'm sure, in it, but I mean, the way the back and forths were kind of like the sequence of the back and forths, they were moved around a bit. It wasn't the same formula over and over again. There was some diversity. There's some fun stuff in them. The one I'm thinking in particular is kind of like when you're coming into a car, getting out of a car, maybe the way you'd think someone would shoot it would maybe through one window, through the other side of the window, then a wide shot, they both get out, and then an over the shoulder or something.
Right.
It kind of, I think he does it one way and then the complete reverse in another scene, like the reverse camera movement, the same thing.
I think, are you talking about when they break into Dorothy's apartment for the first time?
I don't remember exactly. I think
Lynch does that there too.
Yeah, you start in like a 2-shot inside the car, and then it kind of jibs up, cranes up. Yeah, I think this is
this scene exactly.
Yeah. You'd start in this kind of 2-shot in the car, but then you move backwards as the characters get out, and it's nice that it's one camera movement, and you're not the nonsense over the shoulder angles that are fucking ugly and stupid. He's at least. And even the diner scene, there's some dollies, but then there is some stupid over-the-shoulder back and forth. But
I mean, it's hard to do dialogue without the over-the-shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like that stuff is kind of just filler at a certain point, I find.
But you can find people that they'll do it right, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You can always mix something up, go to some easy close-up of the guy's spoon or something, flavor it up, put some pepper on that.
I think my I think the reason I dislike the pacing so much in this film is because of how different it is from Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Like Eraserhead is just one nice, slow and steady burn all the way through.
Eraserhead it's in that surreal world though, where you can keep one. Oh no. I think he's trying to build some kind of, this is the crazy part, here's the romantic part. But I think there's twice too much romance than there should be in this movie. Yeah.
And I think a big part of this movie is subverting expectations and like presenting the audience with something on the surface and then showing something deeper, right? So like you said before, there's like the girl next door and then there's the femme fatale.
Yeah.
I think the point of having them both is showing that they're kind of two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like at one point, Frank, played by Dennis Hopper, tells Jeffrey, right? He's like, "You and I are the same," or "You're just like me," or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And I think to a certain point, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole point of the movie is like exploring what I said before, the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. I think he's trying to show like everybody's got a little bit of everybody in this movie, you know?
Yeah.
As he's saying, I wish there were less Franks in this world and more Robins or something. I hate that so much. That was so stupid.
The whole Robin thing?
Yeah. I mean, the little, I don't know if it was animatronic or something, but
oh yeah,
the little bird was fun. But I mean, like a noir is supposed to be a tragedy. Like the detective is supposed to get beat up,
Yes.
Phil's supposed to die, and then he goes, that's life, and he has a cigarette and walks down the street or something.
Yeah, I definitely do not like the ending.
No, the ending is pretty, that's more the kind of Hollywood ending kind of thing that's trailing off from those past two movies that we skipped.
Yeah, I think so too. Because it's definitely a happy ending, right? He ends up with the nice girl who we're seeing on screen right now.
Yeah.
Played by Laura Dern, and everything ends up okay.
Mm-hmm. And Frank is dead.
Yeah.
Yellow Man is dead. The cops do everything, and Rosalini gets her son back.
Because this movie has been analyzed psychoanalytically pretty often.
Yeah.
Especially in Freudian terms. And we talked about this in Eraserhead as well, because Lynch, at least in the two movies we've covered, has had a lot of both sexually implicit and explicit content.
Mm-hmm.
And he undoubtedly deals with the subconscious. So it's hard not to talk about Freud. And there's a big argument made that Jeffrey needed to kill Frank in order to relieve his subconscious of those darker desires, and that's why there's a happy ending.
Yeah.
But I find the happy ending is so happy that it undermines the entire story.
Yeah. It would be so much more powerful if almost life went back to normal or something.
Right. He goes back to college or some shit, and like nothing's changed.
The boyfriend beats him up, and his dad was in the hospital, and he goes, fuck, okay, well, still crap or something.
Yeah, his dad being in the hospital, like, I get we needed a reason for Jeffrey to come home. But, like, what the fuck, man? He visits his dad once, and then at the beginning of the movie, he visits his dad in the hospital. Yeah. And at the end of the movie, his dad is fucking healthy again.
Yeah. Well,
like, that was stupid.
That's like the perfect bow tie ending, though. That's
I guess. Fuck.
Kind of get crafted here.
Although I did appreciate, I don't know if you noticed, the dad has like a heart attack or like what's it called when heart attack is when your heart artery clogs, and then I think his like brain artery clogs.
Okay.
It's a different. I don't know, is that a stroke? I don't know.
Stroke, yeah.
Maybe he has something, but he's watering his yard.
Yeah.
And his hose gets tangled, and it cuts the flow of his hose, and then his artery gets clogged, and it cuts the flow of his blood right away.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional, but I thought that was funny.
It is funny, but I got a problem with that scene too, though.
Oh, really?
I don't know, because we've kind of, in like school, we watched that opening, and it's like, oh, he's showing you the surface of the suburbs, this picturesque, ideal place with little box houses and kids walking across the street.
Yeah.
And then, you go into the bugs in the earth and you find it and stuff. But
I mean, one of my main problems with this movie, especially compared to Eraserhead, is how obvious it is.
Yeah.
And like you're saying with this scene, it's like, here's the perfect suburbs, but here's what's underneath all that. And it's bugs and it's dirty and it's gross.
Yeah. Log there. But my issue always was with the dog jumping in the stream afterwards.
That is a weird, and if you look, he's like, it kind of looks like he's holding the hose like he's pissing in the dog's mouth.
And it's slow-mo weird.
Yeah, and the dog is like jumping right on his dick. Like, kudos to the actor for not flinching, but like he's right on his dong.
Like, that slow-mo shot there, that also looked like it was just punched in, like zoomed in and slowed down. I don't think there was another camera any there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel that.
This is fun, this little effect here going into the grass. I quite like this effect, though.
Yeah, I mean, at first it reminded me too much of A Bug's Life.
That movie rules, though, dude. I wouldn't.
It does. But then I was like, you know what? That was pretty cool.
I prefer an ant's tail.
Said no one ever.
Is that with Sylvester Stallone?
I'm not sure. I really hope so, though. That'd be funny.
Okay. I do like the Lumberton stuff and like all the wide shots of the diner. We get like the
wood. Yeah.
That's fun.
I took so many notes.
Yeah.
Like, so much of my notes is just the word wood.
Well, like you said in the last episode, he loves his wood.
Dude, he loves it.
He loves wood.
It's like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's organic and it's alive.
But he's
But it's
digging in the aesthetic, the Pacific look. You know, he's in that wood, pine tree, evergreen kind of look.
I mean, it does mesh well with this movie, with like the whole American suburb, American dream aesthetic.
Yeah.
The whole lumber industry is like a big part of that foundation. So it makes sense.
Yeah, speaking of the kind of Pacific Northwest, have you watched Twin Peaks at all, the show?
No. I have it. I have the whole series. I haven't watched any of it yet.
I mean, very similar to this movie here.
And that's what I assumed so, because he made. I mean, Twin Peaks. He started the show right after this.
Was that 91 or something? Wasn't it?
I mean, this was 86, so that makes sense. I mean, it usually does take him a while to make a movie, right?
Yeah.
Because I know he made. What's the Nicolas Cage one?
Wild at Heart.
Yeah, he made Wild at Heart. That's what we're gonna watch next, and then he did the Twin Peaks movie, Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
But he made Fire Walk with Me as a prequel after the TV show, right?
Yeah. I've never seen the movie.
So Twin Peaks was in between this and Wild at Heart.
Yeah, let me just look up Wild at Heart then, because I think Wild at Heart might have come in 91 then.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, same year, 1990, and the show came out 1990.
Oh, same year. Okay.
Simultaneous, but Wild at Heart, you're going to see the romance fully cranked in. That's like a romance movie.
Okay.
But it's
a Lynch romance movie.
Yeah, and with Nick Cage, Laura Dern, and the acting's bad, but it's bad, so it's awesome, and it's fantastic. I like that movie quite a bit. There's only a few movies where I like Nicolas Cage, but when I like him, I really fucking like him. Oh, I'm very.
And I hope, especially in a Lynch movie, he'll do that justice.
I mean, that's the only opportunity he had. He's been in a Herzog movie, and it wasn't that fun. So,
really, which one?
Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, never heard of it.
No, supposed to be completely method acting, like going crazy and ripping the whole fucking set apart and everything. But what were we talking about? Firewalk with Me,
right?
Or not Firewalk with Me? Fucking Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, same thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same aesthetic and story, and well, not story exactly, but
it's like crime mystery stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
in kind of supposed to be picturesque mountain town. Like there's nice fishermen and the lodge, the ski lodge, but then there's all these weird characters in town and a murder at this nice high school and the diner, and you're gonna see those like diner motifs, the tree motifs, everything comes back again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like we mentioned this when we talked about Eraserhead, even that David Lynch like grew up in two completely different settings. Like he grew up in the suburbs first, right, and then he moved into like the inner city, and he experienced those two.
I think it was vice versa.
Oh yeah, maybe. Okay.
I think it was Philadelphia until he was like a teenager or something, and then he went to Oregon, I think.
Okay. Well, either way, he experienced those two opposites, and like this movie is like we get a tiny bit of that in Eraserhead. There's some subtext about it.
Yeah.
But this movie is obviously about the falsehood of the American dream.
But there's also a reverence for it. He does love it still. It's highly it's shown in a good light, and he
definitely
ends with it as the
right
ending. Like you still like the American.
I mean, especially if we don't discredit the ending to him trying to please Hollywood.
Yeah.
Then for sure it's obvious that he has at least some respect or admiration to that dream, and he hopes to achieve it.
The way I kind of understand the ending for the people listening at home, it's kind of an hour and a half of this kind of tense, long scene kind of things. Pretty dramatic, you know, there's some fucking edge of your seat moments when he's hiding in the woman's closet and she finds him, or when Frank's running up and stuff. But then the last, maybe even 15 or 20 minutes is almost sped completely through in past tense. We get little shots of the ending. Oh, and that's when this guy happened, and that's when this happened, and Jeff explains the ending of the story to you. Like, you could have went on another 45 minutes instead of 15, but I also think that's Lynch kind of trying to make a proper ending, because he hadn't had a really, like, I don't believe he wrote Elephant Man, or not completely, but like up until then, none of his movies had been like big commercial successes of his own writing.
Yeah.
Directing is fantastic, but something that he wrote himself, he had never tied a bow on anything nicely. And this feels like him going, okay, a Dune ending, I need some kind of happy ending. Let's make something up.
Yeah. I know before he made this movie, he wrote a script entitled like Ronnie Rocket.
Okay.
Or something like that. And it wouldn't sell.
No.
So he wrote this movie instead, and it did sell.
Yeah.
And in interviews, people ask him like, "Oh, are you going to do Ronnie Rocket next? Like, are you finally going to be able to do it?"
Mm-hmm.
And in interviews, he said, "Yeah, probably." But I mean, he's never done it.
It could have morphed into something else, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like in that same interview I'm referring to, they asked him where he got the idea for Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
And he said like the first idea he had, he pitched Ronnie Rocket, and he got turned down.
Okay.
And the person he pitched it to asked him like, "Do you have anything else?"
Anything at all.
Anything at all. Anything else. Anything. And he said he always wanted to hide in a closet and spy on a woman at night.
Okay.
And then he sees something that turns into a clue for a murder mystery. So like that closet scene was the first thought Lynch had about this movie. Okay.
I don't remember if we talked about it in the last Lynch episode, but I think his creative process is almost like through these like dreams or sudden ideas or spontaneous thoughts.
Yeah.
Kind of piece them all together to make the story kind of thing.
Yeah. He also does like, what is it, like trance something meditation?
Yeah. He turns into a woman for 10 minutes and comes back.
Not quite.
Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of like there's a lot of stories going on. Like it might be too many blocks in the Lego set, but I quite enjoy the movie. I thought it was pretty fun. I'm biased towards Dennis Hopper, so I enjoy it more than I don't know, Mario Bros or Ant-Man. But I still like this movie. I thought it's long and it could get edited down, but I thought the composition of some of the shots I thought were fantastic.
Oh, definitely. Visually, this movie is stunning, front to back.
I love the way it's always kind of somehow vignetted within the frame of the camera.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a shot I'm thinking of now that you said that where it's the second time he goes to see Dorothy sing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. It's before this. He gets in his car.
Yeah.
The frame of the car window. It's almost like everything's almost always framed pretty squarely.
Yeah. Yeah, this camera movement I quite like.
Yeah, I thought this scene was really cool, especially how smooth the focus is. It goes from just Jeffrey. Sorry, it goes from Jeffrey just sitting in his car, and the focus is on him, and then it like slowly shifts the camera just a tiny bit, and then shifts the focus to the door of the bar as Dennis Hopper's character Frank walks out.
His gang.
Yeah, his whole gang.
Here's another singing sequence you can add to the Lynch repertoire.
Yeah, there's the Blue Velvet song and the In Dreams in this movie.
Both quite nice.
I think I honestly preferred the In Dreams one.
In Eraserhead?
No. In this one, when they kidnap Jeffrey and they go to this guy's house. What's his name?
Fuck, you're so suave.
Yeah, exactly, that guy, the suave guy.
Is it Ben?
Yeah, and he's lip syncing. He's not actually singing.
You are so fucking suave.
Yeah. He does some song about in dreams, in dreams. We talk, we walk, or whatever it is.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
that scene. I don't want to spoil it, but that's by far, I think, the best in the movie.
I did really enjoy this, and even the next scene when he brings Jeffrey to the sawmill, or the lumber mill, or whatever it is, and he just threatens to fuck him, pretty much. Kisses him, puts some lipstick on, kisses him right in the lips.
I think this right here is my favorite shot in the whole movie, when we shoot right into Dennis Hopper.
Ooh, right before the cut to nothing, like they're all in the scene, and then he says "Let's ride," and then it cuts and they're out of the room already.
This scene is so fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's a suave scene.
Yeah, especially with the fucking, they're all front lit. Yeah, the background's nice and dark. The other characters are there. It's very well composed.
Look how fucking wide it is, and the lighting is awesome.
Yeah.
And we just shoot right into his face.
It's very theatrical.
Oh, fuck anything that moves. Oop. That's fucking awesome. This is another motif you're going to see in a lot of Lynch movies.
The driving?
Rolling down the highway, and you see the kind of headlights on the checker.
Yeah. It's very American.
Oh, yeah.
Just reminds me of American muscle cars, like that whole, when they built the coast to coast highways and stuff like that whole idea of just hitting the open road.
Well, this is kind of like, I think that would be the American ideal, like 1960. Well, like we were talking about last week with American Graffiti, where it's you're cruising with the boys, you're going to go talk to the girls at the arcade and have a milkshake, and it's fun and great, and then the underbelly of Frank shows up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's, I think, the most prominent.
That's so funny when he puts the lipstick on it.
Yeah, fucking inhaling. Fucking what is that? I guess it's just pure oxygen, or it's nitrous.
That was Dennis Hopper's idea. He said, "My character is weird enough. I need a prop to be weirder." And then
nice.
On set with that.
That's an interesting decision to go with fucking nitrous oxide. That's interesting, because he could have just taken a bump every now and then.
Yeah, might just be pure oxygen. He's living high on life.
Yeah, I mean that's even weirder.
Wants to be a mountain climber.
But yeah, I think definitely the most pertinent and obvious. Well, okay, there's maybe one analysis that's more obvious. The most obvious, the one that stood out the most to me, was the subversion of the American dream.
Yeah.
It opens with the white picket fence and the perfect red roses.
Yeah.
And the perfect nuclear family. And then it crumbles, right? The father has his heart attack or stroke or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like we saw, we dive into the underworld, the underbelly of that American dream, which is the world of organized crime and the world of the gritty, the industrial complex. They're always in factories and sawmills and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's almost too in your face.
I agree, yeah.
I also hope that edit works so fucking clean and no one notices it, because you jumped right back in after that. For disclosure, we got booted off of Zoom after 40 minutes. So
yeah,
if you notice an edit, I failed.
If you notice an edit, just ignore it and comment down below that you didn't notice an edit.
Comment first. And then we'll have a good time.
That's a good meme, Nick. Good job.
Hey, thanks. I got that to go a year and a half ago when he said it on an episode.
But yeah, that whole subversion of the American dream just kind of keeps coming up.
Yeah.
It's so recurring, and like you said, it's so in your face. It's impossible to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not much else to the movie.
Well, it's like I'm kind of defending the movie now, but it's kind of another piece in the filmography. Kind of like take out Dune,
Right?
And like think of Elephant Man as a contemporary rather than like a historical picture, and you kind of get this American Dream. What's underneath? What else is going on? Kind of like theme running through the whole oeuvre. And if you think of it as one kind of piece in the puzzle, you go, okay, you can kind of forgive whatever slow pacing or anything like that. You can kind of go, okay, well, it's part of the thing.
You're talking about I'm echoing now.
Oh, I don't know
if you've changed any settings. Oh, sounds like I'm echoing.
I haven't changed anything. Are you muted on one of your things?
I mean, that wouldn't make much sense because my volume on my laptop is muted. I'm fine now.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Are you recording with both accounts, though, at the same time?
No. Only one. But anyways.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Okay. Is the microphone on both, though?
No.
You might want to turn the microphone only on one. That might.
Yeah, it is. It's only on the Monolith account that I'm recording audio.
Okay, that's perfect then. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the fun technical part for the listeners at home.
Yeah, I haven't even joined audio on the on my laptop. Perfect.
Okay. Our producer has the week off. That's why we have to do it. We still have a few kinks we're going through, but that damn full crew of producers and technicians, they took the day off. I mean, that's what we get for fucking not recording in the studio. No, well, it's national holiday in Bangladesh today, so of course, the day off. Of course. Everyone's making out with each other. Yeah, so you were saying, like, you mean as far as Lynch's entire filmography is concerned? Yeah, because I mean, this is every single one of the movies, this kind of theme. Like, you see one thing, the glitzy glam, and then he shows you the other part, the dirty dingy. Like, that's his shtick. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay. I mean, I did enjoy it. It's a nice shtick to have. Well, I mean, shtick or not, I think some of the shots in this are fucking amazing. Oh, yeah. But I mean, have you seen? I'm sure you've seen American Beauty. No, I don't think so. Really? No. With that guy who was accused of being a sexual abuser. Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, exactly. Did you see the picture of him like fingering that guy's ass? I did not. It's pretty funny. Should I pull it up? That would be pretty good. Can we do that? I mean, we're not monetized, but no, I think our video would definitely be taken down anyways. Well, for the listeners at home, Google image search Kevin Spacey fingers guy's butt, and you'll get a picture of a guy on his lap, and he's like getting ready to go in on the butt cheek. Like, you're maybe half a knuckle away from the inner chasm of the butt cheek, and he's right there. Kevin Spacey or not. Yeah. I think American Beauty tackles literally the exact same themes as this. Okay. It's the division between the American dream and the dirty reality of attempting to live that American dream. And there's the whole subtext of sexual desire taking over. Yeah. And all that stuff. But I genuinely believe American Beauty did it better. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I might have to watch it then. I think I'm actually genuinely surprised you haven't. I try and stay away. I mean, that was one of the things that everyone was people were going, oh, this is good. Yeah. I'm not. But I mean, people say that about Kubrick, and you love Kubrick. That is true. So, come on. That is true. So, well, I'm a hypocrite. You know that by now, Lee. What were you saying about Lynch? Oh, I think you might be freezing a bit there, Lee. Yeah, you are too. Maybe it's just the recording. I hope it all works out in the end. We'll see. I mean, worst case, we're frozen for a bit. Worst case, we scrap the video. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it'll work. I think it'll work. Even if it's jumpy and stuff, who cares? Amen. I wonder how it works with thumbnails. How we can still get the thumbnail even if this is the thing on YouTube.
I think you could still set the thumbnail individually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, might be talk for after the pod.
Yeah. We'll leave that to the producers.
Yeah, that damn crew of 30 taking the day off. I have a fun fact here.
Okay.
But what's Dorothy's name? I know it's Rossellini. I forget her first name.
The actress?
Yeah.
Here, let me pull it up. I have it right here.
This is so much fun, and I can watch you Google. I don't even have to do any Googling myself.
There you go. Cast.
Isabella Rossellini. Yeah.
Yeah, Isabella.
Yeah.
Plays Dorothy.
Do you know her father, Roberto Rossellini?
No.
I think we might have talked about him on one episode. He did Rome Open City. I know we've talked about that before.
That does sound familiar. Was she in it? I'll be able to find it.
I don't believe she was in it, but that's like Italian neorealist. It's supposed to be like Italy during the kind of fascist time, and there's like, I believe it's actual footage of like Nazi occupation in Rome.
Oh, cool.
Stuff that he shot, but it's all that kind of Italian neorealist, black and white moving around. It's in the city, you're out of the studio.
Right.
And, he was, she's done some strange stuff.
I mean,
wow.
Sex. What a title.
This was her first like serious role, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she did. She got that hard. I mean, Enemy. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2. That's a meme. We can ignore that.
Well, but yeah, this was kind of her kickstart into serious stuff.
Okay.
But I forget the anecdote exactly as to who Lynch was talking to, but I believe he was talking to Roberto Rossellini, and he was saying, man, I saw this young model today, and I think she'd be great for this role. I think she's fantastic. Her name is Isabella. And like he showed her something. He's like, that's my daughter. She better be a good actress. It was either that or like it was her godfather or something. It's like, you don't know Roberto Rossellini's daughter or something? Like
okay.
I'm mixing up the anecdote, but
yeah, we get it.
It's funny enough.
Good one, dude.
Hey, thanks. I forget where I heard that one. I think that's another interview thing.
Yeah, Lynch is like, I mean, at least as far as written down documentation goes, he seems to be one of the most interviewed directors I've ever researched.
It's pretty funny that he's done so much kind of public speaking, and yet he gives no answers about things.
And it's funny too, because most of his answers are just like, nah.
Yeah, it's almost like an excuse to smoke cigarettes on TV is what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just
I mean, to this day, he has my favorite interview clip.
Yeah.
Where I think I mentioned this when we talked about Eraserhead. He says that Eraserhead is his most spiritual movie. Mm-hmm. And the interviewer asks, can you elaborate on that? And David Lynch just looks at him and says, no. And that's it.
But I mean, it's a valid answer. Spiritual.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be spiritual. He doesn't have to.
Like, fuck you. I don't have to answer that. You don't fucking make the rules.
Yeah, watch the movie, come up with your own thing. I mean, it's fun enough.
Yeah, exactly. Spiritual is spiritual. It doesn't have to be specific.
Mm-hmm. Now, back to the kind of composition of stuff. Mm-hmm. My first note here is Dorothy's apartment.
Yeah.
I believe that is a set piece, the interior.
Okay. You don't think that's, you don't think they went to an apartment? You think that's in studio?
Yeah, I think that's all in studio.
Okay.
Like, we never, we do see it, but like it almost seems too large, and like the lens is wide, but I mean, this would be a gigantic apartment.
Yeah. It definitely wouldn't be hard to build this as a set because there's not much going on. There's like the one hallway.
Yeah.
They could build the bedroom and the bathroom separately because you never really get a reverse shot from those angles.
Yeah.
But at least the kitchen, living room, and hallway closet, you definitely get a whole 360 view of that whole area.
It's kind of like the same stuff we were seeing in anti-porno,
Right, yeah.
where you'd always see 3 walls.
Yeah.
You'd never turn around, kind of thing.
But they would have had to have either built 2 sets where you have the 3 walls on one side and then the 3 walls on the other side.
Well, I think it would be the full square, and then just one wall is removable. And you
Okay.
can close it.
Or they just have the actual doorway that just goes to the studio.
Yeah. Well, you can like slide the wall out, slide whichever wall you want.
Yeah. I think it definitely makes sense to slide the closet out.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is all in studio, all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it too much because, like the closet wall is probably the easiest to slide out because any shot within the closet, the camera is outside of the closet, and any shot within the closet is just this.
Yeah.
Where it's just Jeffrey's face from within the closet, and you can literally just toss a camera in a closet with him, and like that's easy to do.
I'm also thinking like it's so wide, and like here we're getting movement, but it's still on that one flat area.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking to get that kind of angle of focus or that kind of angle of view, you would almost need to be behind the wall where it would be. You know what I mean? That gives me the feeling that this is a set.
Right. Interesting. I mean, I think mainly because we get that definite 360 view of the main room of the apartment.
Yeah.
I never really keyed in on that.
I think I might have to do some Googling, but every time I watch this movie, I get the same feeling that this is all one set.
What do you think about the other interior sets, like the detective office, the households?
The detective office is okay. The hospital's fun because the dad's makeup's pretty good. But, Laura Dern's house, I think is very well lit. It's not the coolest looking house, but that was the kind of example I was thinking before when I was talking about the vignetted kind of composition where the edge. Oh wow, I can even do it on screen and show you guys what I mean. Where this is kind of vignetted and the person in the middle is light.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. Would be that. I believe it's like the second time he's in her house or something.
Okay.
It's nicely lit, but I mean it's nothing. Nothing to freak out about.
I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I know what you mean.
This is fun to scrub through.
It is interesting. I'm definitely past the second time he's there.
I just thought of one greasy line where she's like, "Oh, he put his disease in me."
Oh, I wrote that down too.
That's a little gross.
There's a few lines where I'm like, "Oh, that's cum."
Yeah.
Like they're just talking about semen.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a line. Yeah, exactly. He says, "I have your disease in me now."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he came.
But
that's it. That's what that means for sure.
Maybe also lust or something, Ooh, now I'm infatuated with this young bull.
Yeah. But from Eraserhead, we do know that David Lynch has some pretty nasty opinions about semen and reproduction.
He loves cum.
There's also when Frank tells Jeffrey he's going to write him a love letter.
Yeah.
And then he says a love letter is a bullet from a gun.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cum too.
Yeah.
That's the first. That was like he's going to come inside of him. That's what he's talking about.
There are some lines that are just so goofy, but they're so fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost like you're trying to write dialogue and
Yeah. What fucked me up most, I don't know how many international viewers we have, but here in Quebec, you have to go through CEGEP before you go to university.
Yeah.
So by the time you're in college, you're 2 to 3 years after high school, right?
Yeah.
So here Jeffrey he comes back to his hometown. He's in college. He's in university. And he starts flirting and seeing this high school chick. And he goes to high school parties with her.
Yeah.
It's fucking creepy to me. Because, like, in my mind, here in Quebec, if you're in high school, you're 16, 17 maxed.
Yeah.
And if you're in university, you're like 20.
Yeah.
That just seems weird.
I think they're more like 17, 18 in here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because in America, I think you graduate high school when you're like 18, straight up, and then you go straight to college.
Yeah. Well, they might be both 18 and he's 19 then or something, but
yeah, who knows? But it just the whole time I was like, dude, this girl's a minor. What are you doing?
Yeah,
but she might not be.
It's never addressed in the movie, but she's 14 years old. He's 20.
Oh my god! Even one of my favorite lines is when she drops him off at Dorothy's house, the singer.
Yeah.
And she says, "I still don't know if you're a pervert or a detective."
Yeah.
And he just looks at her and says, "That's for me to know and you to figure out." Like, dude, what the fuck? That's creepy.
That's not a very good line to get.
Man. You have this fucking high school chick in your passenger seat and she asks if you're a pervert and you just say, "Hey.
Maybe."
Don't fucking worry about it.
I'm still figuring that out myself, actually.
We'll see.
I like that he just lies to her too, just strings her along. Yeah, we're gonna go out and stuff. And he's just banging some old Italian lady. Beating her up and punching each other.
Oh man, yeah.
That is funny. When you were talking about high school parties, one line in this movie that I think must be like some real life line that he heard was when he shows up at the high school party and then Laura Dern walks to her friends and then she comes back and she goes, "It's all been arranged," and then they start dancing.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
It's just a strange line.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, here she's talking to her friends.
Yeah.
And she comes, what does that mean? It's all been arranged.
I feel like it would have to be a thing that actually happened to David Lynch when he was at a high school party and he's like, that was such a strange line that it just stuck with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it has nothing to do any part of the narrative, part of any story or anything. Any reading of this movie, it makes no sense.
It's all been arranged. Do you want a drink? And then he says, "Do you want to dance?" And then they dance instead of getting a drink.
Yeah.
Like, what has been arranged? I think, in my mind, I was like, did she ask them to play a specific song? Like, did she know they were just going to end up dancing to this?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I could think of.
Is this a song that returns in the movie?
No.
No clue.
I don't know either.
Strange.
The only recurring song is the Dream one and Blue Velvet, right?
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I recognized Blue Velvet only because Lana Del Rey covered it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I saw it first in a commercial for perfume or something.
Oh,
I think it was Lana Del Rey singing it.
It was her cover.
In the thing doing Blue Velvet. But
right.
I like Isabella Rossellini's version.
Yeah, me too.
I like how Frank is just molesting this piece of velvet in his hands while he's listening. Ooh, yes. Yes.
Apparently the title to this movie is like one of the first things David Lynch thought of.
It's a pretty cool title.
It is. But is it just because of the song?
Goes well.
Yeah, it does. I know, in that same interview I read, Lynch says that blue is his favorite color.
Okay.
I was like, sure, whatever.
Whatever you say, David, whatever you say.
I don't know how much that has to do with it, but...
I have another fun line that I had written down here. It's from Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pops
yes.
Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. Dude, at first, the whole beer thing was fucking with me so much.
Yeah.
Because fucking when they go to the restaurant, I don't know what that club is called, where she sings, where Dorothy sings.
Yeah, Pink Ribbon, Pink Slipper or something.
Yeah, something like that. Pink, I think it's definitely pink something.
There is pink neon. I know that.
And he, they both, him and Jeffrey and fucking Laura Dern's character, they both order Heineken.
Sponsored.
Dude, my initial thought was like, well, fuck, what is this fucking product placement in 1986?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
But then you get the Frank line.
But then even her line, he's like, "You like Heineken?" And she's like, "I never had it. My dad drinks Coors, or Budweiser rather."
Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, king of beers."
Yeah.
Like all sarcastic.
Yeah. But it's like,
At first, I was like, dude, what's with all this fucking beer talk?
Yeah.
But then, I mean, both Pabst and Budweiser are both American, right?
Mhm.
And Jeffrey likes Heineken, which is imported from Germany, Belgium.
I think Germany, but it also might be American. I can't tell you.
It's definitely imported.
Probably Germany then.
So I kind of like thought maybe it's like another layer on the whole like American dream. Like American made things aren't that good.
I'm kind of thinking maybe like he's trying to show off their Heineken,
Yeah.
German beer, and then she goes,
I like imported beer.
Yeah, wow. All this guy's cultured. He drinks Heineken. Is that a green glass bottle? Is that green? But and then she's drinking Coors, and it's like Mountain Fresh or whatever, or a King of Beers Budweiser.
Yeah, Budweiser,
standard American.
Yeah.
But then Frank comes out with dirty Pabst.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same kind of metaphor, showing you the underbelly. You get Budweiser, and then Pabst is the dirty version.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that all makes sense. But it's like, why fucking beer?
In my head, I'm wishing and hoping in my heart that it's just Lynch had that one line, Heineken, fuck that shit. And I hope he just wanted to put that in somehow. And he's like, I got to bring it in earlier. He likes Heineken or something.
He's like, I got to slam Heineken in this movie, man. Fuck that shit.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. A fucking rock. Maybe he's just trying to get sponsorship wherever he can.
Yeah, I mean, that's, dude, the dialogue in this movie is so funny.
Yeah.
There are so many. Like, there's that one scene, they're in the morgue and they're analyzing the ear.
Yeah.
And the mortician asks for a pair of scissors.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's saying the word scissor, it cuts to a shot of them cutting police tape with a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
This movie is it's tons of fun.
Yeah. And then I think Jeffrey asks the detective about the case, and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's all sewed up." Like they sewed the ear back on him or whatever. And then he asks Laura Dern's character about the case.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What'd you hear about the ear?" And she's, "Oh, I hear things. I heard about the ear. It's in bits and pieces." Like, it's all these fucking puns about ears and amputation and surgery. Yeah. It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
It's too much fun. I have a great time watching this. This is a fun drinking movie where you take a shot every time someone says fuck or gets punched or bit or you see a candle in the wind.
I like the now it's dark recurring line.
I don't remember it.
Frank walks into the apartment for the first time.
Okay.
And they're about to do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he yells at her and asks for the what did he ask for? Gin? Bourbon? I think it's bourbon.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. So she lights the candle for him. She turns the lights off. She hands him the bourbon.
Yeah.
Turns the lights off and lights the candle. And then he says, "Now it's dark." And then he starts huffing fucking nitrous.
Yeah.
And then he, does his whole sadomasochistic ritual with her.
Yeah.
And then he extinguishes the candle and again says, "Now it's dark."
Yeah.
And it's just like every time after that, something bad happens. Like when Jeffrey kills Frank, for example.
Oh, I remember now, yeah.
He cuts to black. Like every time something bad happens, it goes dark again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like this super obvious, we're in the dark world now. We're in the underworld.
Well, doesn't Jeff say it verbatim also at some point?
It's dark now, does he?
Maybe. You're jogging my memory somehow.
If he did, I didn't catch it.
He might say now it's dark at another point, but when it's narratively dark, Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, maybe when he's driving around with Laura Dern or whatever and it gets dark out or some shit?
But I think he was talking directly about the case or something, saying how fucked up it is and how fucked up Frank is, and he goes, "Now it's dark," or maybe, I'm not sure, but it's definitely him. I mean,
that line definitely comes up a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just forgot what I was going to say. I believe it's the next time that Jeff is in the apartment when Frank shows up unexpectedly. I believe it's when Frank shows up. No.
Well, the next time he's in the apartment, they just fuck and he stays the night. Nothing happens. That's when he hits her. That's when Jeffrey hits her.
Yeah, it might be in this one then, where he's talking to her and then it cuts away from the apartment to an overview of the stairwell of the apartment, then back to the thing, and then back to the stairwell as he leaves. And it's almost like a filler shot because it's like an edit save because the two shots that precede and succeed it are the same angle. So it's almost like he didn't have a reverse angle or any kind of angle to cut to keep the scene going, that you cut to the stairwell. Then the scene plays out and you expect something to happen with that stairwell, but it just ends with him leaving down the stairs. If memory serves me correctly. That is my least favorite cut in the movie. It's terrible. I hate it so much.
I think, isn't that at the end when Jeffrey discovers the yellow man dead in the apartment and then he runs out and sees fake Jeff, like here, right? Like it cuts to
it might
hop
be
down to the stairs a couple times in this section.
Yeah, this might be it. He's definitely in the apartment and then mid-scene for no reason. I mean, you don't need to have an exposition shot for a fucking staircase. You know it's an apartment. That's like...
Yeah, especially when they showed the staircase in the first 20 minutes of the movie. We know it's there.
You know the geography of the place. You understand that, okay, this is not something I've never seen before. This is a staircase from the set that we've already visited a few times. This is a location we know. They don't need to cut back. So I think he's trying to save a little bad edit by shooting in some B-roll, some leftover B-roll.
Interesting. I think I know what you're talking. I'm not sure if it's here exactly.
Yeah,
because this seems pretty thorough and planned out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm thinking it's halfway or something, but you don't need to find it. It's like half a second or something. But if you ever watch the movie again, keep that in mind, and you'll notice and go, "What the fuck? That's stupid." Oh, we've been limited to, or upgraded to unlimited minutes. Nice.
There you go. Thanks, Zoom. Good job.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a few clunky cuts in the movie. I think, like you said, a lot of it's filler. The movie doesn't need to be 2 hours.
No, you can trim this a lot.
Yeah. Even, I mean, the section we just talked about at the very end when he discovers the yellow man shot and he leaves the room, comes back, leaves the room again, checks the staircase, comes back, uses the walkie-talkie, goes in the room, comes back in the main room. There's so much back and forth there. He could have easily just walked out, saw Frank, walked in, took in the walkie-talkie and the gun, and been like, "Oh, I have a plan," and that's it.
This is like the Hitchcock style, though. You know, you have to put tons of shots, get him fast, build tension, and what's going to break the tension? Where's this going? But
I mean, that's a fucking.
It's very,
very. Even, I mean, that technique. Film got that technique from literature. Like you read like H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, even Stephen King does this. Most horror and suspense authors, they'll do something similar, but instead of introducing new scenes like a movie will do, they'll shorten their sentences during areas of action so that it feels like things are happening quicker because you're reading shorter and shorter sentences. And then you'll get this big release of tension with a nice long sentence about the conclusion of the situation, right? Yeah. And so film kind of took that same strategy where, like you said, Hitchcock did it, David Lynch is doing it here. You'll get, right when action starts coming, you'll get these shots, shot, action ends, nice long shot. Oh yeah, that's the structure of it. Yeah. I mean, even like you boil that down and you watch like generic action movies, like I think Bourne Ultimatum was the worst for this, where instead of doing multiple shots, they just fucking shake the camera.
Oh yeah, well that's like the action movies what we were talking about last week. Just absolute lazy,
Yeah.
lazy technique. You're taking the kind of visceral and just saying, okay, do the work for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like, that's the other end of the spectrum. That's like the fucking, like you said, fucking lazy way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that same effect of simulating suspense using camera movement and camera like edits and shots.
Yeah, yeah. I have a note here saying that it's some kind of like mythic storytelling almost in here, where like it's not epic, like it's not a grand story, but it's still kind of like folklory the way that Jeff kind of is describing it to people. Like
Yes.
he's giving these characters these kind of the yellow man, the well-dressed man and stuff.
Yeah.
He's giving them these name titles. And what's another thing he says? Then he goes, and in the distance, there was a drug deal or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The way he's
And
telling them.
he always refers to things in the past tense.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's telling the story to Laura Dern's character, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very like fairy tale-ish.
Yeah.
Where nothing's ever happening to him. It's just some story that he just so happens to be watching.
That's also our problem with the ending, I think.
How so?
Well, it's too much told to you like an oral story rather than, okay, it's a visual medium. Let's see what's going on. Let's see it. I mean, that's Lynch's choice if he wants to do it in the past tense. But I mean, I would prefer present tense. We see what's happening when it happens.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest part of my biggest issue with the ending is something I said earlier, where it's just, it undermines the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like you're expecting, the movie sets up this underbelly of the American dream, right? You're introduced into this perfect world, and then you, along with Jeffrey, discover this nasty part of the world that is very real and it exists. But by the end of the movie, it's like, never really happened. Fuck it.
Well, it's like all the bad guys are gone, the Robins are back, there's love in the world, and the happiest of happy endings.
I mean, even it opens, he goes, after he discovers the crime scene, he finds the ear in the field.
Yeah.
He goes for a walk in his neighborhood, and he's thinking about the crime scene, and there's a shot of the ear, and it zooms, it's like a double exposure of him in the ear.
Yeah.
It zooms into the ear. And that's like literally from Alice in Wonderland, Lynch saying, we are entering the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We are going into this underbelly world. We're entering it now.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the movie, when you hit that happy ending sequence, you come out of Jeffrey's ear.
Mm-hmm. Do you really?
So it's literally like none of that happened. Yeah, I swear. See?
Oh, yeah,
boom.
there you go.
Yeah. You literally, after all the action, after everything happens in Dorothy's apartment, it cuts to Jeffrey's ear, and it zooms out to his face. He's hanging out on a lawn chair. He's chilling. He's happy. Yeah. And then it's the whole fucking ending sequence.
Laura Dern is so quick to forgive him, too. That's
oh my God.
You'd go like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You've been lying to me for like a month saying you're investigating, you're banging this middle-aged lady whose son is kidnapped, and you're, I don't know, that's a weird fucking thing to happen.
And Jeffrey's just like, I love you. And she's like, no, I believe you. That makes sense.
That is a fun back and forth, though. That's another kind of fun way to do it over the phone like that. And I believe Lynch zooms out from the reflection in the mirror to behind Laura Dern to get the kind of shot of her. And that's a fun way to make a back and forth a little more exciting, make it a bit more a little different. Nice pink room too. Look at Kyle MacLachlan close-up face. Oh, nice.
Something I found interesting in that same interview I keep referring to. It's a very short interview, but they covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
They ask about why Lynch chose an ear.
Okay.
And not like a finger.
Yeah.
Or, something more common.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it had to be an opening.
Okay.
So like this ending shot and the opening shot of them entering the ear and then exiting the ear
Yeah.
was like definitely planned. Like that's something Lynch wanted to absolutely happen in the movie, was entering the rabbit hole and exiting the rabbit hole.
Is that like you're entering the dark subconscious? You're going into his brain, into the deep recesses of his brain?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is.
Hmm.
I think on like a postmodern level, this movie is extremely critical of the predisposed opinions people have about the American dream.
Yeah.
So it presents you with the American dream, and every opportunity it gets, it subverts your perception. Even like you said, with the romantic aspect, there's the whole soap opera aspect of the movie. There's the whole murder mystery aspect, but every single aspect of the story is subverted expectations.
Yeah.
Usually in a murder mystery, the detective is like, you know, some fucking, he's the hero. He's the guy who solves the crime. In this movie, the detective, fucking Laura Dern's dad, he's so weird. He smiles all the time. Like Jeffrey's telling him about the severed ear he found in the field, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay." It's like the fucking weirdest thing in the world, and he doesn't do anything. Jeffrey solves the entire crime, right?
Yeah.
And you'd expect for the gangsters to be like these fucking badass mafia guys, but no, there's some fucking sex-crazed, sadomasochistic, nitrous oxide huffing fucking weirdos.
And some chubby guy in a yellow shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And some fucking dude named Paul. That's all he says. The dude played by fucking, what is it, Jack Nance?
Is it really? His name? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the dude who played Henry in Eraserhead. He's like the larger. He just like his two lines, and like one of his lines is "I'm Paul," and like that's it.
Well, do you think that could be a tie to his last movie, Dune, where Kyle MacLachlan played Paul Atreides?
Oh, maybe. But point.
Paul or Peter?
It's Paul. Sure it's definitely Paul.
Paul Atreides?
Yeah, for sure it's Paul. I mean, at least in Blue Velvet, for sure it's Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up Dune for a second and see if
it's go for it. But my point being that that's the whole American Beauty aspect of this, and like that's the whole postmodern aspect where it's critiquing the past, it's forcing everyone. Are you excited for the new Dune movie? The Denis Villeneuve Dune?
Who knows? I don't know. I'll probably watch it, but I mean, I'll
definitely watch it. But I'm not like.
I mean, I did like the first movie. I'm not going to read the 1,000-page book. I watched Star Wars already. Star Wars ripped everything off from it. I'm not bothered.
But I like Denis Villeneuve makes pretty movies, so I'll know I'll enjoy it. And I mean, I like Timothée Chalamet. I'm a sucker for the guy.
Yeah.
I think he's great. I think the casting is fantastic, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if it's been confirmed or anything, but I remember us shooting the idea around of maybe we do original Dune, the new Dune, and Jodorowsky's Dune.
I'd love to.
Triple feature special episode.
That's a good episode.
Because I think that would be pretty fun to see what the heck is going on.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll try and find someone who's read the book and get them on the show.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it in 3 years when I finish the book. And then we can do it.
Okay, I've been fucking trying to get to this point for so long now.
Yeah.
So that the whole American dream thing we've outlined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the whole psychoanalytical aspect of this movie.
Yeah.
Which dives very deep into Freudian theories. And that's the idea. At least to me, it seems like Frank and Jeffrey are the same person, and Dorothy and Laura Dern's character are the same person. It's that whole two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're talking in terms of Freud, Jeffrey would be the ego, and Frank would be the id. And then the super ego would just be the movie as a whole, that struggle to balance the two.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey needs to explore those primal desires, that like sadomasochistic sexual desire that's inside of him. He needs to explore that and get over it in order to achieve the American dream. Because if he refuses to accept that that's a part of his life, then he won't be able to live happily. He'll end up like his dad, and he'll have a heart attack.
Well, it's was it Oedipal?
Yeah.
Where he has to kill his father, and he kind of kills Frank, the father figure, and everything.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
You were talking about American Beauty as kind of a better critique or exploration into the American dream and the consequences thereof, but I quite enjoy, my favorite on the topic is was it Terry Gilliam's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Oh yeah, but that's like,
still
that's a hard.
Dream. Yeah, that's still American Dream, but it's less sexual and more, I don't know, drugs and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a very different American Dream.
Yeah, I find that movie so sad.
Yeah?
Oh,
I haven't seen it in so long.
I'm so sad at the end of that movie.
I don't remember how it ends.
It must be a line lifted from the book, but he's saying like, oh, these are like these flower kids thought they were doing something, but they're just wasting their lives and fucking everything. And there's some like very dismissive line that's just so fantastic and very melancholy. And I quite like the end of that movie.
I definitely have to rewatch it.
That movie fucking does it well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the movie well, but I definitely remember enjoying it very much.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that's Hunter S. Thompson's story, right? Yeah. His whole like that portion of the American dream is more about the self-made man.
It's like freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In American Beauty and in Blue Velvet, you get more of the American dream of like the white picket fence, the nuclear family, the happily ever after. That you get that portion of the American dream.
That's like the dream of like post-war dream,
right?
And like Fear and Loathing would be like 60s free dream, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, even though this movie was made, Blue Velvet was made in the late 80s, it's very reminiscent of the 50s, that post-war era.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, that's the look of it. Yeah,
not even like the look, but also like every single power dynamic, every single relationship dynamic.
Yeah,
it's very heavily steeped in that post-war aesthetic. Whereas I think maybe the reason I preferred American Beauty is that it's a much more contemporary take on the American dream. So I probably identify with it more heavily. For me, Blue Velvet is hard to relate to because everything seems so dated.
Okay, yeah. It is a fun aesthetic, though. I enjoy the aesthetic on just terms of, oh, wow, that's an interesting thing. Look at this guy with the funny pants on over here. Like, I don't know. It's nice. This is also a really cool shot. I love this shot from the trunk of the car, just like a mounted camera, and they drive around, and the camera's static on the trunk. That's pretty cool. I love that. There
are a lot of cool car shots.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes with the aesthetic you're talking about, that kind of late 50s, early 60s.
But I mean, that plays into the whole freedom thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the open road freedom.
Oh, yeah.
That's all American, man.
Well, that might be why Dennis Hopper's in it, too. That's what his
Easy Rider
whole movement, But,
you're right.
The wide angle shots in this, like I'm looking at this frame right now, they're fucking awesome. He's using the full extent of that wide angle. The whole movie out, I mean, like every cool shot.
Yeah.
This fucking nice, fat, wide, moving around. Focus is crisp.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's something about David Lynch that feels so much more instinctive than other directors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if you were to take this shot, like I mentioned Kubrick earlier. If Kubrick made this shot, like the mirror, the car mirror, for example, how the car mirror sticks out on Jeffrey's side but doesn't stick out on Laura Dern's side.
Yeah, it'd be unacceptable.
Right, it would need to be symmetric.
Yeah,
but it's like David Lynch is so like instinctive about these things. Like you said, like he's using that wide angle and he's got the focus locked in, and like that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Everything else is just he knows what he wants the audience to see, and as long as the audience is seeing that, he's got his shot.
Well, he's showing you his dreams in all these movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's going on straight instinct.
Yeah, it's less formulaic, and it's more, I have a vision in my mind that I need to put on camera.
You're going to see when we keep doing more Lynch, this is still him with the chains of narrative. When we get to Mulholland Drive or Lost Highway, you're going to see how narrative doesn't matter anymore. And like this kind of traditional linear storytelling, even if this one kind of, you have the flashbacks and kind of the oral story of Jeff telling this folklore to Laura. I mean, it's still a straightforward A to B story. Like Lost Highway is a perfect circle. Fucking what's it called?
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive is all over the place.
Yeah, I think based on what you just said, I feel like it might have been Mulholland Drive that Lynch was talking about. Mm-hmm. But I heard him say something about his movie making process where he'll think of a scene and he'll storyboard it. Yeah, and then he'll just kind of hold on to it. And then once he has like 70 scenes storyboarded, he'll just be like, well, that's a movie. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's the kind of blocks. He'll get a million little Lego blocks and stick them together to make something. And then, at that point, all you got to do is line the characters up so it makes a tiny bit of sense. Yeah. And then let the story kind of unravel itself. It's like you're going to see in Wild at Heart, it's him kind of moving in the direction of the kind of romance. But then after that, he's kind of moving in a kind of testing the waters with narrative and what makes sense. Okay. And like how people like associate these different scenes. What conclusions do they come up with in the scenes if the movie itself gives you no answers? Okay. To the questions or the things it's showing you. How do you understand this as a thing other than just like dream logic or something? I'm very excited to see whether or not Lynch persists with the whole sexual subconscious things. Because so far, I mean, we've only watched two, but both of them have been like very heavily sexual content. Elephant Man, not so much, but it's more of the same kind of seeking a relationship. Okay. He's looking for some kind of guidance, like the Elephant Man. But he didn't write Elephant Man, right? I don't think so. I could check. I'll check right now. But I don't think he did either. I believe, or wasn't it, didn't we say like Mel Brooks hired him to do it? He definitely got hired because they saw Eraserhead, and I imagine they saw the clip of the girl in the theater in the radiator. Yeah. And she had the fucked up face, and they were like, ooh, Elephant Man, fucked up people. He co-wrote it. Okay, but I mean, he's got a writing credit at least. That can just be a name too, though, or maybe he writes a few lines of dialogue. For sure, the story is sketched out, and he throws in some dialogue. Yeah, I would imagine so. Mel Brooks produced it, so I think you're right about that. Mel Brooks got him on the hook for that. But Elephant Man, it's a good movie, but it's just a normal movie. There's one instance for maybe 20 seconds where you go, is this a David Lynch movie? And it kind of cuts to like this quick montage sequence with like a candle lighting up and wind and stuff. And it's the exact same thing we see in Blue Velvet when Jeff is having these flashbacks of Isabella Rossellini asking him to hit her and stuff. Yeah. Kind of candle. Yeah. His dream sequence. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the candle is definitely a recurring motif in these kind of, and also these kind of quick dream edits kind of, that'll come back. You'll see that over and over again. That's a fun little, what's it called? Banner on top? It is, eh? It's nice. Just the fucking something. Yeah. There are some grimy. The Dennis Hopper sex stuff is pretty grimy. Oh, it's weird. All right, it's weird. What does he say? When he's saying "Don't look at me," and he's like slapping her and don't you fucking look at me, you fuck. He's so good, Dennis Hopper. Though he's so good. Yeah, the amount of people he calls fuck
You fuck!
You fuck you, you fucking fuck. It's so fucking funny.
I bet none of that was in the script, and it's just Dennis going nuts. Can't think of it. Goes,
Yeah.
Fucking fuck!
Yeah, it's good shit.
Maybe Lynch wants to keep it with the sex kind of stuff. I'll fuck anything that moves.
That was a good line.
Fuck as much as it can. That whole scene rules beyond compare, dude.
Yeah. With the singing in that random dude's house, dude, whatever his name is.
That's awesome. I think it's Ben.
I think so. That makes sense. That rings a bell.
Ben, you're so fucking suave. That sounds like something.
It's like about, where is it? It's before this. There it is.
Yeah. Do you remember what the song was? The Gilded Clown or something?
The Gilded Clown? What do you mean?
Is that the name of the song that he was singing?
I don't know. I just know it. He says he repeats the line in dreams. That's all I remember.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Look at these. Like, who are people?
That's a good one. The fucking reverse shot of all these people. These people are the best, for sure.
It's just like such oddballs and strange characters, but they all fit so perfectly in this world.
Oh, it's the best. They all look like what are they doing there?
They're all David Lynch's ants. Come on, get in this movie. And who's this guy with hors d'oeuvres in the far corner?
Dude, it's the best. It's so funny.
He's got a plate of fucking spanakopita he's walking around.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Do you see the lady sitting down there?
Yeah, like she looks like she's on her phone or something.
Yeah, what the heck is she doing? Because there's no phones then.
That's what I was thinking too. I was just thinking that. This is 86, dude. They don't have fucking smartphones. She's not checking Twitter or any shit like that.
Exactly. Like, to our contemporary eyes, I thought, oh, she's texting away some big fatty, ordering food on DoorDash or something. But I just downloaded DoorDash before. That's where I got the hot reference. But I don't know what the hell she's doing.
Yeah, no, either.
That's another kind of fun silhouette kind of shot too. Edges all dark, center of the frame nice and bright.
Yeah, it's also like you got the one person standing right in the door frame, one right in the corner. You got the couch nice and vertical, all the other characters... the couch horizontal, all the other characters vertical. It's well composed, for sure.
And just tons of pills and empty beer on the table. It's a grimy life.
Oh, yeah.
You think Lynch is saying like, oh, this is the underbelly where all the fatties go. It's this society's underbelly where the gross fatties hang out.
Well, I think Lynch is definitely trying to de-romanticize both the suburbs and the like whole glorified crime life of the 50s.
Yeah, this does not look very
oh God, no.
glorious at all.
No.
Other than the free karaoke show, or I guess it's not even karaoke, just lip syncing.
Yeah.
I would have been thoroughly entertained regardless of the year, I think, if Suave Ben came out and started singing Into a Light.
Yeah, I think so too. That was definitely a nice touch.
I would have.
There he is.
He's got full makeup on. Dennis Hopper is crying.
He loves it, dude. He absolutely loves it.
But I mean, he's so over the top, the actor.
Yeah.
But it fits so fucking perfect. It looks so good. He's turned to 15 every time, and it's 15 on like a 15-year-old's 15, you know?
Yeah.
I'm getting mad. Just getting all angry about anything.
Oh, fuck anything that moves.
Fuck. And then this guy's wearing fucking Jerry Seinfeld's pirate shirt.
Does Jerry Seinfeld wear pirate shirts often? Is that a thing?
In one episode.
In one episode. Okay.
Let me load it up for you there, Lee.
Fair enough.
That's a record from 1993, if you were wondering, Lee.
Did you have anything to add about the movie itself?
Not sure. We might skip straight to the reviews if you wanted to.
Well, you want to do
What?
favorite scene? We haven't talked about our favorite scenes yet.
That's true. I have, I think, spoiled it quite a bit that this is my favorite scene.
That's fair. Yes, you have definitely explicitly mentioned that this is definitely your favorite scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think mine would be the dolly into his face and then the hard cut to emptiness.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We're gonna see that soon.
Mm-hmm.
When he says, "I'll fuck everything that moves. Let's roll," or whatever, and then when he says, "Let's roll," it cuts to the empty living room.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, I quite enjoy that as well. But I will be honest, it's not my favorite. I do like it, but I think my favorite might be the first time Jeffrey is in Dorothy's bedroom.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, I'll try and find the exact scene I'm talking about after we see this part, because this is good.
Yeah, this rules.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom. Nothing.
Right.
Love it.
I got loaded up here.
After this, right? Yeah, okay. All right, let's...
You got Kyle MacLachlan
right here.
butt there?
On the couch. This is probably my favorite scene. Right there. That shot is perfect. With the blue velvet gown, the knife, cool. The couch. I love it. Yeah, that. Boom. Fantastic.
That's also like the most fucking... You're shocked when you see this.
Yeah, I love that.
Who's coming in? What's going on? She's got the knife.
Yeah, and I love how just like, for no reason whatsoever, Jeffrey is just so okay with everything that's going on.
He's down, dude.
Dude, he's like, knives? No problem.
Listen, I've been to college 1 year. I'm banging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
I've been sex and violence class before.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite scene.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's like near the end. When you see that's perfect. Exactly, that's exactly what I was talking about. The brain splatter is fucking perfect.
Yeah, that looks good. I just remembered something as you were scrolling through, but I'll tell you after.
Okay, sure. I mean, I was done talking. I was just saying the brain splatter is perfect. I love it.
It is fucking nice brain. It looks like a real brain too.
Yeah, looks good.
I remember one time, or this was a few years ago, when we were shooting something, and I got a brain.
Yeah, I remember that.
Brain or something. And it was the hardest goddamn thing to color correct. I had to put like fake blood and tons of dye because no matter what, every time you put it under lights, it came out like bright pink, like neon pink almost.
Interesting.
It looked like a fake brain, even though it was a real brain. Like it would have been better if I used a fake one. Would have looked more real.
I mean, we've both seen... You remember when we went to the anatomy lab, we both saw real human brains?
Yeah.
They're not that bright. They're kind of like grayish.
Mm-hmm. Bland.
So that's interesting.
That the bright blood though is nice. This is kind of a nice dark blood, but
and there's a certain there's a warm tint to the whole apartment setting, the carpet and all that. Yeah. And then there's the nice, harsh, cold blue tint of the velvet robe. Yeah, it contrasts very nicely.
One brain, I think, that was a very fun one. That's you seen Full Metal Jacket?
I haven't, actually.
Okay, well, I won't tell you anything then.
Okay, we'll save that.
Because that's the climax of the middle. The diptych, I guess, 2-part.
Okay.
But what I was going to say before is when you were scrolling through, you scrubbed past a shot of Dennis Hopper kind of walking by a car or something. And I believe it's from the part where Kyle MacLachlan is spying on the yellow man and everything. He's sneaking out the apartment.
Right here, when he's dressed as the well-dressed man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a stupid disguise.
Dude, it's so funny.
He's like Groucho Marx with a wig on.
It's so funny, too, because you see him right before that, right? You see him come up the stairs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's such an obvious disguise.
But like here, he's got the big jumbo. He looks like the guy from Lazy Town.
He honestly reminds me of a bit of the dad from American Pie.
Okay, yeah, I know you're talking with the big
with the
eyebrows.
nice fat eyebrows.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see the big fake eyebrows. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Like the glue, the 3M glue on eyebrows. But yeah, the one thing I don't kind of like in it is when he's got the like there's that's such a good shot. The the Kleenex box camera with his camera inside. There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Dennis Hopper. I wonder whose idea this was.
Dude, it's so good.
The well-dressed man.
His eyebrows are almost bigger than his mustache.
It looks like it's one piece of felt that's just
Dude, it's so funny.
Just stuck it on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, like, originally Groucho Marx's thing was where he would take, like, just shoe polish and just rub shoe polish on his lip and on his eyebrows like that.
Oh, God.
Just look completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't like that little shoebox camera that he has, or that Kleenex box camera. And he's got a...
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
But, I mean, he's not... It's never shown that he's, like, some kind of crafty guy or, like, a spy. He's into...
Yeah, exactly. He's not some, like, shifty... He's not a private investigator. He's just some Joe Blow who happens to have stumbled upon this case.
Yeah, and also, what's weirder... If he would have just had a camera that he would hold up over the dash, take a quick picture, put it down, take a picture, or some dude just sitting in his car in an empty factory parking lot with a Kleenex box on his dash.
Yeah, the Kleenex box thing is weird. I fucking can't find it for the life of me, though.
I think it's after this.
Yeah, because he follows them here.
But
this is the first place he discovers the booth.
Yeah.
But then he picks her up already. So did I fucking skip it? Or is it when he's telling the story that they show it?
Yeah, I think it's here. Yeah. I think
okay, let's just play it. Let's just play it out. But I know what you mean. It's interesting how... I mean, I guess that's kind of like the whole point of the movie, is that the whole mystery just kind of falls into Jeffrey's lap.
Yeah.
Like he's been waiting for it, like it's part of his journey or whatever. But it is definitely not so credible. Here, yeah, he's pulling the strings and everything. It's fucking weird.
Like, why would you go through that effort?
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do? It just looks like eating off in his car in the parking lot, tons of Kleenex.
Pulls one string to open the shoebox, pulls the other to take a picture. He's just doing this.
Seems like such a hassle, some guy in his car doing this.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Like, what that guy's doing just for the camera. So fast.
Yeah. And I mean, if they're going to see some dude sitting in the driver's seat of a car staring at them, what's the difference between them seeing you pulling strings and seeing you with a camera in your hand?
Yeah. They're like, oh, this guy's some espionage nut. Let's leave him be.
It's weird.
We were talking about big wide angles before, but in these kind of little scenes with Laura Dern, these little kind of shallow lenses look really pretty too.
Yeah, the diner scenes are nice. I think as well the soundtrack really shows itself in the diner scenes. You get this nice contrast between like this nice angelic chorus in the diner scenes when he's with Laura Dern versus like the whole like mystery 50s like fucking Hardy Boys vibe music.
Yeah, exactly. This is pretty well Hardy Boys when he's got the little shoebox camera and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember I had a Hardy Boys book, and it took me probably about 5 years to go through.
Nice.
I left it at my cottage. I would read maybe 3/4 of it every summer and just forget completely and never get to the end of it.
That's all you need.
Fun enough. Who cares? There's two idiots running around with shooting arrows or something. It's fun.
Yeah, fuck, pretty much, man.
I think it was the mystery of the crooked arrow or something, and it turned out it was a snake. That was
weird.
The mystery. But yeah, these little shallow lenses are quite nice. The close-ups are nice and blurred out, but not like ridiculously blurred like you see now in these kind of digital movies where you can just like, it looks like a 500 millimeter like bird watching lens or something where the background is like one flat color almost.
I find what's it called when you have all the lights in the background kind of like blow up? like
Bokeh.
orbs.
Yeah.
Bokeh, yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's overplayed so much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's like, it's not that pretty.
Well, it's also like, I mean, it's bokeh, you know. Anyone can do it. Anyone's there. If there's a light in the background, that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, dude, you can. I mean, especially these days, you take your phone and you just focus on something that's not the light, and the lights will blow up like that.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
it'll be just as nice as anyone else doing bokeh.
Yeah, exactly.
One exception, though, I kind of like is where you're maybe in a cityscape or some kind of nighttime thriller in the city, and you have kind of blue and green lights of the city in the background or something. That's
Okay.
nice enough. But in like close-ups or something, like here, if there was 20 Christmas lights behind Isabella's head,
Right.
it would look ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I find I appreciate like the whole bokeh aesthetic a lot more when it's much more isolated.
Okay.
Like you have like a wide, empty, dark street with like maybe one street light and one car, where those lights are like completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
but the rest of the image is like nice and flat and dark.
Mm-hmm. But
that I quite enjoy.
between bokeh and lens flare, I'd pick lens flare any day of the week.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's so much cooler. And even one thing I always find fun was like in the 50s and into the 60s, and well, any time before that, you'd always have your camera and you'd have all these blockers on so that you didn't have any lens leaks or any light coming into the lens to make it like a flat, or not flat, but a clean image without any light leaks or any streaks or anything.
Right.
Like, that's the nicest part sometimes. It makes it more dynamic. You have some naturalism. You have some real in it. You know, you get some light, some this, some that, little flashes, little anything. You know, I think it adds to the overall kind of realism of the picture. And I
agree. Yeah, I think for a long time in cinema, people felt like that gave away the fact that there was a camera involved.
Yeah,
and it was like almost like breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree that it kind of adds to the realism of the film, because at this point we know we're watching a movie. We've accepted already that there's a camera. The amount of movies and TV shows that have broken the fourth wall, as a general audience, we're kind of over that secrecy. We don't need to be tricked into thinking there's no camera involved. We know there is.
And
when the camera acknowledges its own presence and embraces those lens flares, embraces those exterior lights, like you said, it definitely adds to the realism.
And like I've never been shocked going, what the fuck? I'm halfway through a movie? I thought it was on the toilet or something. Like, you know you're watching a movie. You know what the artifice is, you know how it's made.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy it. Don't BS me, camera guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I know.
And like so many films have like embraced aspects of found footage films that got so popular like a decade ago or two.
Yeah.
So like even then, like you'll see cameras switch from Steadicam to handheld out of nowhere, just because that aesthetic works better for the scene. Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with switching up style between scenes, but it's so played, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the bokeh. It's okay, well, you can shake the camera around, keep doing it, but I mean, everything in moderation.
Yeah. Have you seen Knives Out?
No, I haven't seen it.
I think it's directed by Rian Johnson, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And there's this one shot where a large group of people are exiting the mansion. And according to Rian Johnson, during that shot, the Steadicam breaks. So you can literally tell the camera is being unmounted from the Steadicam, and they switch to handheld, and then they like walk into the main character and follow her with a handheld cam instead of a Steadicam.
Okay.
But that mistake is timed so perfectly with the acceleration of action and tension in the scene. It's so seamless and it works so well. It's actually a really cool shot.
When it works fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the ecstatic kind of in the moment creation kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the fucking Herzog method, right?
You got it.
Show up and fucking shoot whatever you shoot.
And sometimes it works out. Sometimes you get gold, and sometimes you get peanuts. Speaking of Herzog, there's I don't know if I told you about this. There's a new movie that he just released, but on Mubi.
Oh yeah,
and it's I think it's called Family Romance LLC.
Interesting.
And I think it's up for a month for free.
Oh, cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it's about. I think it's somewhere in Asia where it's this company that if you want to pose for family photos or something and you don't have a date, someone comes up and is your date. And it's just a documentary about this strange thing.
Okay, weird.
Company. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
From the trailer that I watched 2 weeks ago that I half remember. Something like that. But
definitely weird.
Yeah, I was out of town when it premiered, but he did a live Q&A on Mubi, Zoom or something after.
Yeah, you posted that on our Instagram that he was doing that.
Yeah. I was I would have liked to see that, but didn't have the old Wi-Fi with me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think the only movie I've seen with LLC in the title is Hell House LLC.
Okay.
And there's I think it's a trilogy. I've seen 1 and 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's a found footage horror about a haunted house that ends up being a portal to hell or some shit.
Okay.
The first one was good. The second one was bad.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, the third one is supposed to be better. So I'll watch it soon and we'll see. But for now, it's downhill for sure.
Well, that happens often, though. It's either the first one's awesome, and then off the coattails, the second one sucks. And then everyone who went to see the first one goes, oh, fuck, the second one better be good. So they go, oh, we better make a third one. And then it's just dog shit. Or the first one's good, the second one's terrible. And then the third one, they go, fuck, we fucked up the second one. They make it better.
Yeah, I mean, that's the general consensus for, I think, Lord of the Rings, right? Most people agree the second is the weakest and the third is one of the strongest.
Yeah, but saying that, I think the what's it called, the extended one of
right, yeah, the extended editions.
Yeah, that one's pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think if you're gonna watch Lord of the Rings, you definitely should commit for the extended editions. Anything else is a waste of time.
Some shots I find drag and stuff. There's a bit too much Spiegel kind of stuff I would not go into, but I mean, the more Saruman in the movie, the better.
Yeah, that's I think everyone can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear his metal album?
Saruman?
His name, Saruman Lee something.
Right, Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, yeah.
He has a metal album. The actor.
Yeah, but it's like power metal kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's the story of Charlemagne, the Holy Roman Emperor.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be related to him somehow?
Interesting.
It's some concept album, power medley, the kind of German style.
Yeah.
Big and operatic. Big, what's it called?
Yeah.
Theatrical.
Nice and vast.
Yeah, it's nothing it's not brutal, but it's fun enough.
Okay. I mean, I'm not that surprised. The amount of fucking metal bands that Lord of the Rings have inspired.
Oh, probably countless.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane.
That's funny, that connection between that kind of fantasy and whatever kind of metal.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking? Do you have more notes on the old Blue Velvet?
On Blue Velvet, I think we pretty much covered everything. Mm-hmm. I could go... I could probably go more into detail about some things, but at this point I would just be rehashing old points.
Okay.
I think we pretty much covered the bases. Move into reviews?
I'd be down for some Letterboxd time.
Yeah? Let's check it out.
This one, I imagine, would have the same thing that a few of our movies have had recently, where it's a lot of 5-on-5 Lynch rules.
Yeah.
I think that might be the consensus. Oh, what's that? 4.1. Hide your password, Lynch.
4.1. Yeah, no worries. Monolith Films. Follow us on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
4.1. We have not rated it yet. This is my review. 3.5 stars was my initial review. A little underwhelming.
Not at my desk and see if that changes.
And you know what? It did change something.
Oh, better.
Yeah, definitely. I like certain movies benefit from me watching them here at my desk.
Okay.
But I feel like this one benefits from the immersion of watching it on a big screen, for sure.
This is fun. I like I get sucked into this one, though. Like,
yeah.
When I start, I go, fuck, it's already an hour. But then at an hour 15, you're like, holy fuck, it's only an hour 15?
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Like, for 15 minutes, I'm loving it, but then it's too long.
Yeah. All right, let's check. Sort by lowest first. Let's hit some. Question mark? That's a good one. Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Oh, here's one. There you go. Let's go. Some of the worst acting I have ever seen.
Well,
I had to force myself to sit through this one, but it was utterly terrible. It felt amateur-ish. I've never seen Laura Dern act so badly, and Rossellini was the worst thing I've ever seen on screen. The fact that this got an Oscar nom horrifies me. Really open to people sending me reviews and think pieces on why this is so well respected, even now, as I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Well, I mean, that's fun because I guess, who is this? Claire. I guess she hasn't watched Wild at Heart because the acting in that is very interesting. Her favorite film is Legally Blonde, La La Land, and Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge might be the worst movie I've ever seen. So then we even out.
Yeah, these definitely aren't. There are a lot of movies in the contemporary meta that are Lynch-esque. None of these are Lynch-esque.
No, these are.
So that makes sense.
These seem nonsense. Oh, what'd she say for Interstellar? 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
I Can Handle the Truth.
It contains spoilers, so
they've hidden it from us.
Yeah, I mean, she gave Dunkirk 2 stars. I haven't seen it, but that seems controversial.
I don't know. I kind of agree with that one. I wasn't really a big fan of Dunkirk.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Well, it's like when you have this subject matter like that, like you got a World War II, it's supposed to be an epic thing, a giant narrative, and there's no stories at all, but it's more like a day in the life of everybody during this one day battle kind of thing. The images are nice. There's a few really nice pictures in it. What's his name? Bane's plane burning is nice. And then there's one where the kid's running down the street and there's all these propaganda posters falling down.
Okay.
Like, those are nice. But
wait, you said Bane?
Yeah, I forget his name.
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, overall, 5 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But, wait, David Lynch, I thought we were still on Claire's things. I was like,
no, Claire's up here.
Place, yeah.
I mean, fucking Layla says this is the worst movie she's ever watched. I'm not sure about that.
Lindsay Seddon, what the fuck was that? Camilla hated it.
Here, go ahead and read this one, Nick. You got this.
This is the first time in 32 episodes I've ever read a review.
Hey,
wow.
Power of technology.
This is fun. This is by Miss Yonka from a month ago. Or not even, maybe... March, April, May, June. Yeah, a few months ago. I wanted to like this, but honestly, the music made it so over-the-top, cheesy, and outlandish. I couldn't believe in anyone's caricature of their character whatsoever and did not enjoy any of the violence, except for the end of the Yellow Man, lol. Yellow Man's pretty funny.
Yellow Man is a good bit.
Or even the random-ass silliness. It was like he was learning how to make Twin Peaks by making this film. Close enough.
You did mention something similar.
I don't want to be associated with Miss Yonka.
That's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to give him one more chance with Mulholland Drive, but my expectations are now extremely low. Mulholland Drive is not as good as this movie. Regrettably, I am probably the only one unfortunate enough to not get Lynch. But if this is his so-called masterpiece, then I'm good.
Yeah, I think at least she's well aware that she does not get Lynch. That's fine. Not many people do, apparently.
Is it possible to see if she watched Mulholland Drive? I would love to see a review of that.
Yeah, we definitely could see that. I just want to mention first the music being over the top and cheesy, making it outlandish.
That's the point.
I felt like it added to the satire.
Yeah.
The whole point of making the music over the top and cheesy was to add to the just hyperbole of the entire movie, right? They're exaggerating the whole crime scene. They're exaggerating the whole American dream.
Yeah.
It's all about exaggeration as a point to break down those predisposed opinions about those aspects of American life.
Well, we see the same thing in Eraserhead too, with the In Heaven song.
Right.
Just completely unexpected, out of the blue, over the top, but it's the best part in the movie. Or a good scene in the movie.
Hey, Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Oh.
There you go.
You love her now, Lee.
Well, no.
And Dogtooth, Antichrist, Shivers.
Well, she gave Shivers a bad review, so.
Never mind.
Dogtooth 2.5 isn't that great.
I quite like Dogtooth.
I liked it a lot. Antichrist 3.5 makes sense.
Shivers, her review, 1.5 stars. I can't handle body horror without rape. Or can't have body horror without rape, 1.5 stars.
This, okay. I guess she's a little sensitive to that.
Well, I mean...
Oh, Diary, Mulholland Drive. She watched it.
Oh
the day after she watched it. Here it is.
Coming immediately from Blue Velvet is Coming immediately from Blue Velvet to this. Geez, the difference is shocking. This is a well-executed, surprisingly structured film. Enjoyed all the twists and turns. Still have some lingering questions, but it adds to the surrealism. This actually felt like a real dream / DMT trip before you die.
Wow.
3.5 stars. So, I mean, she's bonkers, though. Well, we'll see. We got to
we'll see.
Drive soon. We're going to see what she says.
That's it, But I might end up agreeing with her, dude. Who knows?
Keep in mind, though, she says structured film.
That is interesting because from what I've heard about Mulholland Drive, it is the exact opposite of structured.
The 180-degree opposite.
So that is interesting.
Interesting review, Miss Yonka. We'll give you we'll tag you in the video.
I never thought this was going to be a movie for me, and I wasn't wrong. It is just a bit too out there and dark and twisty to be something I can enjoy. That's subjective. Fine, whatever.
Do not like will rewatch one day.
That's good, yeah. Did not like real rewatch.
At least there's a chance. Give it another chance.
Honestly, that's kind of I kind of feel this person when I don't like a movie. I'm like, oh, we'll see.
Maybe in a few years, something new will happen. You'll feel, maybe half a star, no thanks from Gia.
Oh man, and fucking Miles Burrell definitely disagrees. He says this is absolutely terrible. What a waste of 2 hours that was. Do not bother. It tries to dress itself up as a neo-noir type, but it's just a complete boring mess. It
is boring at parts, but
I agree.
It's supposed to be dressing itself up as a neo-noir, because it's not a neo-noir. It's Anyway, we've covered it.
It's critical of neo-noir.
Yeah, it's playing the part to fuck with your expectations. Nelson Chubby. Of all the people, I thought Nelson Chubby would love this one.
Oh, yeah. You thought Nelson Chubby, the person whose favorite film is Godzilla Raids Again and The Incredibles, would appreciate, of all things, Blue Velvet.
Hey, he's watching Zatoichi. That's cool.
Yeah, at least.
Swordsman.
Get Smart, 2 stars. That seems right. Snatch, 4.5. Yeah, Snatch is a good movie.
I like Snatch.
All right, let's check his review. Blue Velvet is one of those films that doesn't live up to the hype. Personally, I didn't enjoy it that much and felt the symbolism to be too disjointed, sadly. The color palette, soundtrack, and violence are the only thing that make it memorable for me, sadly. The gunshot wound to the head was the most realistic I have ever seen, which is why I've given it the rating that I have. Okay, you give it 1 star. That's not high praise. Maybe upon further inspection my rating may grow, but we shall see. I would usually tell you to see the film that I've reviewed, but this time instead, I'm telling you to watch Twin Peaks Season 3 because that's Lynch at his best. Only watch this if you want to be familiar with his whole portfolio. I really wanted to like this.
Well, Chubby, I think he's got a few things backwards.
Yeah? Go for it. Break it down.
Portfolio. It's an oeuvre. What an asshole.
Fuck, that was pretentious.
Hey man, I'm not pretending.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about. It's true.
But I mean, what does he say here? The color palette, soundtrack, and violence are the only things that make it memorable for me. Mm-hmm. So the main part of the movie.
Yeah, I think the palette is pretty, but to be honest, it's not that striking to me.
It's more atmosphere though. It goes with the tone of everything, the wood, the grain.
Yeah. Even the soundtrack. The soundtrack is like it's perfect. The soundtrack is amazing, but if you don't focus on it, you don't notice it, and that's what makes it so good, I find.
Mm-hmm. I love the music in this.
Yeah, but I find it's just subtle enough to influence your perception of the film without making you straight up notice the soundtrack.
Almost the opposite of Eraserhead, then, where he wants you to hear the ambient and go, what the hell is this weird drone going on the whole time?
And I think I even wrote this down. The only time Lynch does that in this movie, where he does that jarring audio engineering, is when you enter and exit the ear. Mm-hmm. He does that same like whooshy, airy reverb sound again.
Yeah. I think we're going to the ground too and see all the insects. I think
probably
overwhelming kind of sound.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right.
What does this say? For half a star from Miko Reyes. Just because you put the accent in garbage doesn't make it not garbage.
I think you're supposed to say this as garbage.
Oh, I didn't see that. Just because you put the accent in garbage doesn't make it not garbage. I don't understand.
Obtuse. Well, Miko Reyes, I think you're obtuse. Okay, Boogie Nights is good.
I've heard good things about Yee Yee.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I don't know the other two.
I mean, these are all kind of like film school movies, though.
Yeah, well, he also has, what do you give Life of Pi? 3.5 stars?
3.5. It's probably average.
Yeah. A bit of a dork, though, if he puts 3.5 stars on Life of Pi. I just love tigers and water.
Oh, Little Dieter Needs to Fly.
Oh, let's see what he says. Very
what do you give
fun.
that? 3? Okay.
Fair enough.
Little Dieter Needs to Fly. Big Dieter is a cool guy. Medium Dieter is a sexy, sexy man. My God.
Okay.
Terrible review.
Yeah, this guy stinks.
Terrible review.
This guy is not good.
All right, fuck that guy. You want to hit some good ones, or do you want to read one more bad one?
Oh, I think if you want to scroll up 1 second there, Lee.
A little up?
Yeah, right there. I think Ariel Toffler is from our YouTube demographic.
I don't know. This looks Hebrew.
Wait, that's Hebrew. Oh, never
That's
mind.
Hebrew for sure.
It's small on my screen, okay? Never mind.
What are you thinking? Hit some good ones, or do you want to read one more?
I kind of want to know what that Hebrew is. That might be the last one if you want to just do a quick Google Translate on that.
Google Translate. Search Google. Translate into English. Let's see. I'm exposing all my bookmarks here.
What do you have? Virtual piano?
I don't know how to use this site. Just awful, just terrible, just really, just horrible, just it's terrible, simply awful. I mean, dude didn't like it.
Yeah,
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah. So
Just terrible.
on to the good ones. Arnie, yeah, I'd like to see what this person likes.
I don't think I've ever heard of any of these. Favorite films? Don't know them.
Oh, Days of Heaven. That's Terrence Malick.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, favorite film?
It's pretty. It's got what's his name? That composer, Ennio Morricone.
Okay.
He's on it. That's funny. He just died the other day.
Yeah, I heard that. Actually, I've been seeing that on Twitter.
Yeah, I think last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Days of Heaven is really pretty though. That's like every single shot in the movie is shot at like either sunrise or sunset, like perfect twilight. So like
the golden hour.
Yeah, but like just purple backgrounds, and it's like I believe it's what's it called? Like the Dust Bowl,
Okay.
Great Depression times, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like a dude going around trying to find work, and he ends up on this farm as a worker, and that's a nice one.
Interesting.
Afterwards, I don't think Terrence Malick made a movie for 30 years or 20 years after.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the story,
that's even more interesting.
Yeah, the story is that he's never done an interview or anything. No pictures of him at all. Nothing.
Damn.
And I think the story is that after he made Days of Heaven, he ran away to Europe to go to Paris and be a hairdresser. And he cut hair for 20 years and then came back and made, I believe, The New World, which I hated so much when I first saw it. But now I love it.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
That is very, very weird. Hit some 5 stars now?
I think so.
It's too bad that all these things ... What a terrible quote. You don't even finish it. One of Lynch's most straightforward plots holds some of his most emotionally vulnerable ideas, particularly on identity, duality, and pursuit of pleasure, and iron-gripped direction. That he'd go on to surpass a work this affecting and accomplished 4 times is almost unbelievable. So this is very good, but still not his best, because Twin Peaks, Mulholland Drive is better.
He says 4 times, but he lists not 4 things.
The Return, I've never heard of.
I don't know what that is.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, I assumed he means the movie Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. He might mean the TV show and then the movie.
Huh.
Not sure.
You ever heard of the Chicken Walk? 5
that was ridiculous. That was so funny.
Yeah, that is a bit silly.
Give that a like.
That is a nice one. Let's fuck. Eat anything that moves.
That's not what he says.
Dennis Hooper.
Bad review.
That is a bad one.
See how long this is. Is that too long? You want to read it?
While Eraserhead is such a fully fleshed out cinematic vision, Blue Velvet is when Lynch really begins to pick up all the later motifs and lighting cues and place them in his movies. The red theatrical curtains, the unmotivated blue lighting, lights brightening into overexposed Americana, jazz, and strange musical moments. After the failure of Dune, Lynch made something that was purely him, and Blue Velvet is that. It serves as this middle ground between Lynch's American daily... It's pretty much what we've been saying.
Yeah. Characters react to mutilated bodies. Yeah, no shit. Jeffrey is fascinated main character and destroys lives around him. Well, yada, yada, yada. This is Lynch's most formative movie and also most likely his most accessible, as the middle ground between dream and reality is perfectly hit, while also being a very interesting commentary on Reagan America, the American dream. That's what we talked about. Blue Velvet is something to really be experienced. I think this is an interesting statement, that this is Lynch's most formative movie and also most likely his most accessible.
I probably agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen this in Eraserhead. This is definitely more accessible than Eraserhead.
Yeah.
But most formative?
Well, this is where he tells like the Hollywood kind of go, I can't make those stories. They don't turn out well. I'm going to do my own kind of thing.
Okay.
You're going to see when we get to like Lost Highway and stuff, you're going to go, oh, okay, I can kind of see how these all kind of tie together and make this kind of such a unique, singular thing.
Okay. That makes sense. Not sure what's funnier. Someone I know calling Tongue-Tied Group Love Best Friend's House, or Dennis Hopper calling In Dreams by Roy Orbison Candy-Colored Clown.
That's what I was saying, yeah. What did I say? Golden Clown?
Something like that. I know the song Tongue-Tied by Group Love. I don't get the whole Best Friend's House reference.
I think he's saying like his buddy said the wrong name of the song and Dennis Hopper does it too.
All right, Tyler, good for you.
Yeah, that's a fun little bit into Tyler's life.
David Lynch making a sexually violent jab at the illusion of a peaceful life in Little America towns, starring Kyle MacLachlan, Dennis Hopper. What's not to adore? That's a bad review.
Yeah, not very good.
No.
I'm not sure that's how you spell McLaughlin.
Oh, yeah?
I got him on Instagram. Give me one moment here.
I could definitely check on screen as well.
Oh, that's true. Let's do that.
Cast, Kyle MacLachlan.
It is right.
It is right. Looks right to me.
All right, well.
Kyle MacLachlan. Where was that review? Yeah, looks right.
Did you see
No, there's one H too many.
All right. I'm
right there.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be there.
Do you see the review underneath? Huh? Kyle's so hot. Laura so pretty.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a fun review.
It's then a day, and I cannot get this movie out of my mind. It's so amazing in every single way. Of course, there's some moments where I got really uncomfortable, which I think could be the point. But 10 out of 10, I would definitely and most likely will watch again.
Well, at least Google Translate works kind of well. How come the fucking lady writing in Hebrew didn't do the Google Translate for us? Say what's the hassle.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, there she is again.
The
Two reviews in a row. That's interesting.
Not bad. Might as well copy paste it while she's at it.
I'm absolutely amazed at how amazing this movie is. No sense on a literal level, but complete sense on an emotional level. I think it made a lot of sense literally. Yeah,
it's just a normal kind of story, a bit over the top.
The only time the story ever breaks from a linear narrative is when Jeffrey tells Laura Dern's character about his experiences retrospectively investigating. But even then, it's so incredibly easy to follow. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't be lost in this movie at all.
Yeah, definitely not. And I just checked. Laura Dern's character is called Sandy.
There you go.
There you go. We've been calling her Laura Dern this entire podcast. The character is Sandy.
This is Laura Dern's best performance until like 2015, though.
Yeah, I don't know much about. She was in Marriage Story, Little Woman. Yeah, that's about the only two movies I know her from.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie.
What's the one I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of what's the hell is it?
Inland Empire. That's Cronenberg, isn't it?
I think that might also be Lynch.
Oh, it is. You're right. Are we doing that?
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, though. It seems like it's got his regular actors in it, just from the two on screen there.
Okay, I can't exit this tab, so.
Yeah, the movie I was thinking was Certain Women. That one, she's a very good actress in it, but everything else I've ever seen her in, she ain't.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she was all right in Marriage Story. I didn't like her character. Okay. But she acted well enough. Yeah. Little Woman, she has a pretty small role compared to most of the women in the movie, so it's hard to compare her, but she did very well as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else I couldn't really pin her in. Even The Master I've seen, I don't remember her being in it.
I don't remember her being in that either. That's my favorite P.T. Anderson film.
Isn't that it is PTA?
I don't remember her at all in that.
Yeah, she plays Helen.
I remember Amy Adams. I do not remember Laura Dern.
Joaquin Phoenix, gotta love him.
Yeah, he's good in this one.
Yeah, the good reviews I think on most of Lynch's movies will just be praising Lynch in general.
Yeah, yeah. Well, those are the people who get it.
Right, yeah. But we all know that the only people who really get Lynch are us and our audience, and that's it.
Well, maybe not even the audience. We don't know yet.
Another all-time favorite, one of David Lynch's most accessible films, in a way, love precursor to Twin Peaks. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. It's all the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, what's our official review then?
One thing I got to say before we head on is the very first shot in the movie, the blue velvet kind of waving screen. I really don't like the credits on this.
Really?
I like the font, the fading in and everything. Very nice. But it's the opacity of the text itself. It's like 50%.
Yeah.
I would have gone 75, 80.
70% opaque or 70% harsh?
I want it a little more white in there.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I honestly might have gone just 100% no opacity whatsoever.
That would have been, I would have liked that as well.
Yeah.
But, other than that, I like the movie.
Well, I mean, if that's your only criticism, that speaks well of the movie in and of itself, right?
Mm-hmm. For me, I'm going to give it an 8 on 10.
8 on 10.
Yeah. I quite like this movie. I like Dennis Hopper. I'm biased, as we know.
Right, of course.
But, it's a very fun movie. I mean, it doesn't really pull the punches, but it gives you the excess you want.
An 8 on 10, eh?
That's what I'm giving it. I'm giving it a healthy 8. I like this one.
I think I'd honestly give it a 6.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I said this at the beginning of the episode. The pacing, the timing, the structure, it's just doesn't do it for me. I can't help but get bored watching it. Yeah. And I can't help but feel, especially compared to Eraserhead, it's just too obvious.
You know, now that you said this, I was not keeping in mind. I was blinded by Hopper there when I was giving my review. 2 hours long and the ending sucks. I'll drop it to a 7.5.
Okay, so even out at like 6 3/4. Let's round it up to 7.
Exact same average, but I feel better about myself.
There you go. That's fine. So 7 on 10 for Lynch's second movie as far as we're concerned, because everything else he did in between Eraserhead and this doesn't count.
Yeah. I don't even think he counts it, though.
Yeah, to be honest. He might count Elephant Man because it kind of put him more on the map.
Yeah, but definitely not Dune.
Oh, Dune for sure. He disregards entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Elephant Man, that's straightforward. That's it. Like, I don't know if these people in the reviews would even think that Elephant Man would be a Lynch film, because they're saying this is the most accessible. That's a straightforward Hollywood blockbuster movie. Yeah,
it's true. But I think it's kind of like almost well known at this point that Elephant Man just doesn't count, just like Dune.
Yeah.
I think most people who understand the industry or whatever just kind of ignore those. I don't know.
I would agree with those industry people.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's a fun one, though. Are you looking forward to more Lynch, or are you getting tired of him?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward. If anything, this movie being underwhelming has hyped me up for what's to come way more.
Well, what's next? Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart is next.
I've been waiting probably 4 years to watch this movie again.
I am very excited to watch Wild at Heart.
I cannot wait.
Now, do we want to jump right into it, or do we want to buffer in between with something else?
I'm not bothered.
Okay.
We have a few on
We'll leave that as a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off camera. We'll leave that as a surprise for the audience.
But I think definitely Wild at Heart will be coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
Well, another fun one, Lee?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for fucking joining me once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks to the audience for listening. You can email us at monolithfilmclub@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at the Monolith Film Pod, as well as Twitter, the same handle. Mm-hmm. You can find Nick and I's personal Instagram accounts through the Monolith one, so feel free to follow us there. Movie requests, movie analysis, movie anything.
Analysis.
Yeah, that's the plural, right? That's the proper form.
I think so. If we're talking Latin.
Right, exactly.
I speak the King's English.
I don't know. Just shoot us an email is my point. Right?
Sounds good.
Yeah. We had a request for someone to translate our YouTube videos into French.
Yeah.
So if you feel like doing that, hit us up.
Send an email.
Yeah, there you go. Because I'm not going to. Are you going to do it? I'm not going to do it.
I don't want to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Going through an hour and a half podcast, transcribing every single line, and then timing it in to I don't like time codes.
I can barely stand the sound of my own voice, so I don't know how I would do that.
After 10 p.m. I'm dyslexic in one eye.
All right, well, we'll fucking see you guys next time. Watch some movies in the meantime. Watch fucking Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Watch the podcast. Rate us on iTunes. Apparently that helps. I don't know how shit works.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a like everywhere else. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is the first time we're doing video, so let us know if you like it.
We'll see if it works.
We'll see if it works. If it does, let us know. If it doesn't, tell us to eat shit, and we'll see you next time.
As long as you don't say eat shit and die, I'm happy.
There you go.
Peace.